Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is the 29th of December, Technique Tuesday, so I hope you're feeling good. My name is Karen. I'm here with Get Moving, and as always, Get Moving is going to help people with mobility issues, mobility problems, to get some exercise in. So if you have trouble moving, it could be possibly because of disability or a chronic medical condition, injury, something like that. If you can't move as well as you hope, Get Moving is here to help you. And as always, we're here at 11 o'clock in the morning. You can find us on the catch-up service as well, catching up via the website. The web address is up in the description up there somewhere. It is www.reefitness.co.uk/getmoving. If you've got any questions about Get Moving, if you're unsure about what we do, how we do it, who we are, anything like that, go to the website. It'll answer most of the questions there. Okay? It is Technique Tuesday, so at the end of the session today, I'm going to go over, not a new technique, but I'm just going to put a bit of an explanation of one of the moves we do every day here, one of the exercises we're going to do now. I'm just going to go in a bit more in depth and explain why we do it, how we do it, and some common misconceptions, common mistakes people make. And that's what we do on a Technique Tuesday, so we're going to do that afterwards. Although in the meantime, okay then, so I've got, on looking at my board here, we've got the exercise to do today. I threw my dice earlier on, so to find out how many repetitions we're going to be doing of these exercises. I'm going to do my best to keep track of these numbers. I'm notoriously rubbish at it, so as always, if you find out that if you spot the mistakes I make, just let us know in the comments below. I won't mind, it'll be okay. So let's get things moving. These exercises are suitable for pretty much everybody. Whether you are seated, whether you are standing, whether you are able to stand, whether you're stuck in a wheelchair, something like that, whatever. You can do 99% of all these exercises, and I'll give you alternatives for the ones you can't do, okay? As always, if you're unsure about anything, ask in the comments below. Excuse me. Right then, let's get things moving. So our first exercise, marching on the spot. So if you are seated, I want you to sit nice and tall, get your legs moving, marching up and down like so. Just do as big a movement as you can from your legs, marching up and down, okay? If you're standing, it's the same thing, but of course you're doing it while standing, marching on the spot like so. Now it says on my board we're going to do 19 repetitions of these. Now when I say that, I am going to try and do 19 repetitions of them. You do as many or as few as you are happy with. You might do more, you might do less. It's entirely up to you, okay? But I'm going to do that many, and in that time you do whatever you can do. Marching on the spot. Are you ready? Off we go. Marching away. So it's nice and simple. Getting the body moving, in this case obviously getting the hips moving, gets blood flowing a little bit. It just gets the things started. It's nice and simple one to start off with. I challenge you to say you can't do some version of this. You're wrong, because you can. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. And that is 19. And so we move from the lower half to the upper half. We've moved our legs. The next exercise is shoulder rolls. Rolling the shoulders back, or if you can, rolling the arms back. Now again, this can be done seated or standing. It makes no difference. You decide which. But it says here we're going to do 18 of them. So I'm going to do 18 of them. You do whatever you can do. Are you ready? Off we go. So easier version is a relatively small movement where the shoulders are just going up and back like so. If you can though, get your arms moving, get the elbows higher. Whether it's both arms or one arm, it's entirely up to you. Again, you do whatever you can do. But the bigger the move, the better it's going to be for us. So you do the biggest, best version that you can personally do on this particular day. We're all unique. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. And to be honest, if it's like me, every day is going to be a little bit different. Some days will be better. Some days will be worse. I don't mind. The thing is, we do the best we can with the hand that we're played. We do the best we can today. So this gets the arms moving, gets the shoulders moving, and that is number 18 done. So hopefully you can feel your upper body, your upper back moving quite nicely there. Next one, back down to the lower half, knee bends. So if you're a seated person, sit tall. We're going to bend and straighten the knees, okay? So from there, as much a bigger move as you can do, you're going to kick the foot out and return. Kick it out and return. So the knee is bending and straightening as we go along, using the muscles and the front of the thigh there, okay? That's knee bends if you're seated. If you're standing, knee bends like so, bending them back. Easier version is a smaller move. A harder version is a bigger move, okay? And we're going to do 20. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. 20 knee bends. So standing or seated, makes no difference which, as long as you get the knee joints moving as best as you personally can do. I'm often said by people with dodgy knees, I can't do that, I've got dodgy knees. Yep, I totally understand, I hear what you're saying, but doing nothing is not an option, okay? Doing nothing means that the knees are not going to get any better. They're going to get worse, they're going to get stiffer, they're going to seize up. We do the movement that we can do, even if it is only a small movement. And we do that 20 times. Okay, Twisty Sarah's next. So, if you are seated or standing, I want you to be moving your spine, okay? So, sitting or standing tall, arms folded, and you're going to twist your body one way and twist the body the other way. A nice big move. And it says here, where's it gone? 25 times. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. A big twist and a big twist. Nice movements. So again, what we're after here, we've moved our shoulders before, we've moved our knees, we've moved our hips. Now we're thinking of moving our spine, our back bones, okay? Using the muscles in our belly. They're the ones that are going to be powering it. But our spine, I can't get the anatomy right, spine bones are the ones that are moving and loosening up. So again, if you've got a stiff back or something, don't be the person saying, oh, I've got a stiff back, I can't do that. Because to be honest, this kind of move is ideal if you do have a stiff back, because it gets it moving. Again, you do as big a move as you can do. It might be a smaller one, but you do the best version that you can do and get your back moving as best it can for 25 times. Spot on. Double tap. So we're moving around the body as always. Going back down to the lower half. So everyone who's seated, sitting tall again, a double tap. The knee comes up twice, tap your hand. 1, 2, and then it goes down. Same on the other side. 1, 2, and then down. A double tap, okay? If you're standing, it's the same thing, but remember, this is going to get your balance. So if your balance is not too hot, by all means stand close to a wall, a chair, a table, something like that. Do not rely on it. Rely on ourselves. But it's there just in case, okay? It is going to be a small move, an easier one. So 1, 2, and then it goes down. Same on the other side. 1, 2. A harder version is a bigger move, but the same idea. And it says here, 20 of them. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. A double tap. So if we are standing, notice how my body weight is shifting from side to side as I go from one leg to the other. I am not trying to stand still, okay? Common misconception. People who want to balance often have the misconception they need to stand still. Couldn't be further from the truth. If you try and stand still, you're going to fall over. We've got to move, okay? Notice my body weight shifting from one leg to the other, to the other. Balance is all about moving. Moving all the time to stay upright. The analogy I always think of is riding a bike. If you try and ride a bike but not move anywhere, stay still, you're going to fall over unless you're very good. It is a million times easier to ride a bike while it's moving along. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to move 20 times. There we go. I'm good at this talking stuff, aren't I? Next one, Bendianas. Seated or standing, makes no difference. It's the same exercise. Again, we're moving the spine, bending the spine, sideways this time. So definitely one arm reaches down and we bend sideways. And the same thing, bending sideways. If we can, the other arm comes up over the top. And it says down here, 21 of these. Are you ready? Bendianas, away we go. Sideways bend, and away we go. So again, if you have a stiff back, this kind of move, like the Twisty Sarahs, are going to be really good at mobilizing your back. minimizing the stiffness of your back. If you have a stiff back, one of the worst things you can do is try and stay still and not move it. Protect it, so to speak. Totally understandable. I totally get it. When I've messed myself up and I've injured myself, I always want to, like everyone else does normally, protect that part of the body. But it's not beneficial. It doesn't help us. Keeping things moving is the way forward. So if we have a stiff back, keeping it moving, make sure it does bend as much as it can. Whether it can do as much as me or not doesn't really matter. I don't care whether you can bend as much as me or further, it doesn't matter. We keep it moving as best that we personally can do. So I'll move as best I can do. You move as best as you can do. There we go. Simple as. Squats, legs. Okay. If you are seated, you are going to do your best to stand up and stretch tall. Okay. So when we're seated, we're all kind of folded up. We want to stretch out our body. So even if you only do it once, feet underneath you, body weight forwards, use as much of your legs as you can, and stand up tall. If you want, just stand up once and use it as a stretch and just open up the entire body and just stand as tall as you can. It's a good stretch. If you can though, you're going to fold the hips and sit back down under control and then do it again. You do as many times as you can. Once or a million, it's up to you. If we're standing, squats. Feet apart, imaginary chair down there. Again, we're going to fold at the hips, sit down on an imaginary chair, and then stand up tall, again, stretching. And it says here, 16 squats. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, away we go. So using our legs as much as we can. So we can either use this as a leg strengthening exercise, a fantastic leg strengthening exercise, I should say, or we can use it just as a stretch, where we just stand super tall and extend the whole body out. You decide what version you're going to do. You decide what you need, what your body needs. Because I say this all the time. I have no idea about you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's wrong with you. But we can think this through. We can plan this out together. We can figure this out. You know your body a million times better than me. And I know for a fact that this move would help strengthen your leg muscles and or stretch your body out, depending on what you need. And that is 16. Nicely done. What have we got next? Ankles or balance even. So for those of you seated, we're getting bits of the body moving. Last big major joint, the ankles. So I want you to bend and straighten your ankles as much as you can, even if it's only a tiny bit, even if it's only a small amount. Get what you can from it, okay? So heels are going to touch the floor, and then toes, and heels, toes, heels, toes. Get the biggest movement out of the ankle as you personally can do. If we're standing, we're going to work on balance. So feet apart is the easier version. Feet narrow is harder. It's tightrope walking. So make sure you've got plenty of room in front of you. Imaginary line on the floor there. With me, off you go. Walking forwards, heel, toe, heel, toe. See what my feet are doing? Heel, toe. Heel, toe. Now this is deliberately making balance difficult for us. And now the same thing, going backwards. Toes, heels this time, of course, though. Toes, heels. So like I said, this is deliberately making balance difficult. Now, some people have said, why do that? We don't want to make balance difficult. It's hard enough as it is. Why make it any harder? And that is a understandable thought. Second time's always better though, so we can do it again moving forwards. However, the way that our bodies improve is through challenge. Remember back when you were a kid, learning to do stuff, you found things difficult, you did difficult things, and then you got used to it and you got better. That's the same thing now. Last time, going backwards, our bodies are going to improve through challenge. And this challenges our balance and forces us to get a little bit better. So we've got to make things difficult, we've got to make them doable, Impossible is no good, but make them difficult. Boom, there we go. That's our tightrope walking. So, fast feet time now. Speed. So far, all the moves have been fairly big, fairly simple, fairly slow. Total opposite now. Small, fast movements. So if you are seated, I want to see your feet moving up and down, running on the spot, like so, okay? Small, fast movements. If they're standing, it's the same idea, running on the spot. Small, fast movements. So we're up here, running on the spot. Now, what we're going to do, let me get my timer, where'd it gone? I'm only going to do 10 seconds worth, okay? 2 rounds, obviously, of 10 seconds each. So it's a small burst, work hard, recover, and we'll go again. Are you ready? Fast feet, off we go. Running on the spot, nice quick movements. Move the feet up and down as quick as you personally can do it. That's it. That's our 10 seconds there. So that's round 1. Round 2, we're going to do the same thing again. Don't forget, small, fast feet. Again, don't compare yourself to me. Compare yourself to yourself. Do them as fast as you can do them, okay? One more time. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Running on the spot. Nice and quick. Moving your feet. Small, fast moves. Boom. There we go. Job done. And the final exercise. Let me change the timer to 20 seconds. We've got shadow boxing to finish off. So, if you are seated, fists up, shadow boxing, just arms moving, body moving, punching away, nice and light, but nice and fast. If you're standing, the same idea. Standing, shadow boxing, punching away quite nicely. The idea now is to get out of breath. We're going to do 3 rounds of 20 seconds. Are you ready to do the first round? Punching away, off you go. Shadow boxing. So don't forget, the whole idea of this is to get out of breath. So move your arms fast enough, move your body fast enough, and move them big enough as well to get yourself out of breath. Time. So that is our first round done. That gives you the idea. We've only got 2 rounds left, so give it your best shot. Are you ready for round 2? I am assuming you are, because like I said, I can't see you. I don't know how this works, but we're going to do it anyway. Round 2, off we go. Shadow boxing again. Moving the body if you can, moving your feet. Shifting forwards, shuffling backwards. You can go side to side. You can change your legs. But the whole point is to get out of breath. Time. That is round 2 done. So we've got 1 round left. This is it. 1 round, and then we'll go over the technique of the day. So are you ready? Final exercise. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Shadow boxing. Final 20 seconds. Get your heart rate going. Get your breathing going. Again, challenge your breathing. Challenge your heart. Because that, like the balance, is how we improve. Like everything in life, we improve through challenge. Well done. So have a breather. Relax for a sec. You've done your exercise. I am very quickly going to spend 2 minutes now just very quickly going over a bit more in depth over one of the exercises we've just done. Just so that something for you to think about, something to apply and try next time you do it. Most common mistake I've found with a lot of these exercises, to be honest with you, for most of us, is we just go through the motions, we forget about things, and we just, oh yeah, we do something like that, and away we go. I'm a stickler. I've got OCD. I want things done precisely half the time. So, Twisted Sarah exercise, the one we've done before. Seated or standing, twisting like that. I'm going to take 2 minutes now and just give you my thinking, my thoughts behind it, and how we can get the most out of that particular exercise. So, Twisty Sarahs, twisting the body side to side like so. It can be done seated or it can be done standing. Personally, as you've probably seen from these things, I always do it seated. I prefer doing it seated. It's up to you, but I prefer doing it seated because I can get much more movement out of my spine, which is what we're after, if I'm seated. Okay, so common mistakes for Twisty Sarahs. Okay, it is not, I'm reading from a board here, it is not turning the head. Okay, the body staying put. I got me dizzy, and it is not just turning the head side to side. Okay, we want the body twist, not the head twist. So don't get mistaken by that. Also, it is not arm twists. Let's see how my body and my head staying still and it's just my arms flapping about. It is not that, okay? If we're standing, if we do the standing, it is not hip twist. Like that, okay? So they're the three big things that people often get mistaken about or misunderstand about it. It is a spine twist. So this is why I like doing it seated. If I do it sat down, it kind of takes my legs out of it. It is quite difficult to do this sat down and move my legs around and stuff like that. I can see what's going on there, okay? I don't want that. I keep my legs still. And if I'm sat down, I can tell. It's much easier for me to keep my legs still and keep my hips still because I can feel my bum sliding on the chair, all that kind of stuff. So I like doing it sat down. I tell people here, we want to use nipples or shoulders as landmarks. Measure where they are going, okay? At the moment, my nipples are pointing straight forwards at you, like bullets, okay? It's cold, what can I say? So, when we do a twist, we want our nipples to be pointing in a completely different direction. Now they're pointing out to the side there, okay? And I twist the other way, pointing out to the other side there, okay? If I do that, if I point my nipples in different directions, then I have to be moving my spine. It's just, there's no other way of doing it. It's impossible to do it any other way. So I keep my legs still, and I point my nipples in different directions. I'm immediately doing the move really well. If you don't want to think about nipples, why would you want to think about nipples? I've got lovely nipples. Cold ones, but okay, they're lovely nipples. But if you don't want to think about my nipples, you can think about shoulders. But it's the same idea. A shoulder comes forwards, pointing forwards, and then the other shoulder points forwards as much as possible. I don't mind which landmark you are thinking about. It doesn't really matter. But it gets the body moving, okay? Another way of thinking about it or visualizing it is using a simple broomstick. Now this is easier if you've got two hands. If you don't, it's not essential, but it's easy with two hands. I'll show you with two. We're going to use this stick as a marker, as a direction finder. We can see which way it's pointing, like a compass needle, I suppose. I'm going to jam this stick touching my shoulders there. I'm just going to hold it in place there. Okay. Now the stick is pointing either side of me, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, either side, left and right, directly over there. If I do this move right, that stick, hopefully you can see in the video, has now turned. Because I've turned my whole body. It is still in contact with my shoulder there. It hasn't come away. It's still in contact. And I go the other direction. I twist the other way. And you can see that this stick is doing a pretty big turn. It's going almost 90 degrees in both directions. So that means my spine is twisting almost 90 degrees in both directions there. If I make the move smaller, and you can see that stick isn't moving nearly as much, okay? Our job is to try and move our chest, our nipples, our shoulders, and as a result, this stick, through a big range of motion, we're using our stomach muscles to twist our spine bones around. And that, I say, you don't need to use a stick, but it's a good visual guide. That is the point of Twisty Sarahs, getting the spine moving. It is not, like I said, turning the head or flapping arms or just twiddling your hips. It is twisting the spine, rotating the spine. So thinking nipples or thinking shoulders, entirely up to you. But big move one way and a big move the other way. That's how we do the Twisty Sarahs. And the reason is, as I say, doing it, is to mobilize the spine. so it doesn't get stiff. I want you to think about that next time you do it. Practice it, give it a go. Don't just go through the motions. We do these exercises for a reason. Each one has a particular purpose and they have particular things that can, different ways that can help us. That is what I want you to think about when you do the twisted stairs in the future. Anyway, that is Technique Tuesday over and done with. Thank you very much, boys and girls. As always, we're going to be here again tomorrow, 11 o'clock. It's going to be Wobble Wednesday, Balance Day today, Balance Day tomorrow. Please do me a solid favour. We've got share buttons down there. We've got the web address up there. We've got donate buttons kicking around somewhere. You know the drill. Let everyone join in. Have a good day. Enjoy the bit. I had a bit of snow this morning. Enjoy the snow. And yeah, see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.